I love it. In a moment, we're going to be speaking to Professor Vaughan Scribner, who is a mythical fascination expert. But first, let's speak to retail analyst Kate Hardcastle. Hello to you both. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Kate, to you, first of all, modern shoppers, why are they buying these sort of things?
I think life is pretty tough right now, and be that just a simple case of things frustrating you more because we're constantly in contact, like losing your keys, or the more serious topics that you guys are reporting on day in, day out. We feel the need to be frivolous and have some fun and excitement and enjoyment in our life, and that's simply why we're swinging the pendulum to buying some of these items. I also think there's something really interesting going on with social media. We're not as governed anymore by big business and their advertising campaigns, and because we see these things on social media and we're attracted to them, and we've also been given almost permission by our peers to get on the back of an inflatable unicorn if we wish, or put some shimmery powder on our faces, even as grown-ups. I think that's something that's really important into our mindset to using and buying these products.
Is it about the colour as well, potentially, and youngsters thinking, oh, I want that inflatable unicorn, so I've got to have it?
Oh, incredibly so, yeah. I mean, we saw that last year with the must-have accessory, which were gold pineapple bar accessories. So vital for everyday living, you know, but celebrity A gets spotted with that pineapple gold shaker, making the cocktails in Malibu, and suddenly, no matter if we're in Milton Keynes or Wakefield, we've got to suddenly have one on our collection. So they're easy to buy, they're cheaper things to get hold of, widely accessible, and definitely it's bringing fun.
Okay, let's bring in Vaughan Scribner, should we? Hello to you, Vaughan. This obsession with mermaids and unicorns, it's nothing new, is it?
No, not at all. Something I really follow in my research is how this has basically always been going on, at least since the medieval period. In the medieval period, people were really following mermaids, mythical creatures. In fact, an Englishman would have been worshiping in a church surrounded by mermaids and other mythical creatures and representations of mythical creatures. In my research, I see that by the early modern period, people start to actually say that they're seeing these creatures on a daily basis. You have newspaper reports about them. You have people traveling to far off lands and coming back and saying that they're seeing these mythical creatures. They're even bringing back things like unicorns' horns with them, allegedly. And I would argue that by the 19th, 20th century, then we have these actual shows where maybe someone has a mermaid specimen that they're showing. And I think that by now we're seeing kind of the next evolution of this continuum, where I think it's all about social media, like Kate said. I think it's really a way to express the way you feel about the world around you in a playful way. And we have more ways to do that than ever now. So you definitely have this evolution up to this point about mythical creatures, how we think about ourselves. And I think it's always been that way. And so we're right in the moment in that way.
Okay, so people did actually in the 18th century go and look for unicorns and mermaids, did they?
Yeah. Yes. Some of the smartest scientific thinkers in the world, Carl Linnaeus, in fact, the father of classification, is asking the Swedish Academy of Sciences and telling them we need to go find these mermaids. The Royal Society of London is publishing multiple accounts of mermaid specimens and merman specimens and mythical creatures like unicorns. So yes, it was from sightings to science by the late 18th century.
Was it ever proven that any of these things existed? Please say yes.
I wish. No, not that I found. Although people did, they loved having a mermaid hand in their cabinet of curiosity. They loved saying they'd seen them. Benjamin Franklin was convinced enough that he published multiple accounts in his Pennsylvania Gazette. But I have not found any actual proof, despite looking.
Oh, drat it. Kate, so it was explorers, mostly men in the 18th century, that were looking for these mermaids and unicorns. But it's more females these days, isn't it, that are attracted to them, Kate? I mean, I've even got a gin in my fridge at home that's unicorn tears, and they are real unicorn tears. I'm not having it, what Vaughan is saying, that there aren't unicorns, because I've got unicorn tears in the fridge.
Well, if they've got gin content, why not? I mean, anything that's alcohol related is permissible by me, I think. I think what is the difference here is that adults and grown-ups are allowed back into the fairy tale land. A big trend coming from the States at the moment is something called Disney Dapper, where it's not just the children that are dressing up in the Disney characters now, it's the adults that are saluting them with their own costumes and tributes to as well. And that playful side is the pendulum swing away from all that's a bit miserable and sad in our lives. So I absolutely endorse it. And as someone who's trying to sell stuff every single day, anything we can sell, as long as it's legal, I'm for it.
And a final thought from you, Vaughan. Where were they looking for these mythical creatures?
It's interesting. Basically, wherever they were exploring that they considered the far reaches. You originally have in the British Isles, they're seeing it on a lot of the east and west coast. But by the time they get to North and South America, they're saying that they see them there, the East Indies. So you can really trace this development of the empire around this. So for wherever they considered mysterious, they thought that they might find something like a mermaid or a unicorn, etc. So as they expanded, they looked for them.
Okay, Vaughan and Kate, let me just tell you, the more unicorn tears that I drink, the more unicorns I see on the lake in front of me. I'm just letting you know that. So if you want to come and see them anytime, you know where to come. It's good to talk to both of you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you. Quick look, seriously, anytime, come along. Quick look at the weather.